Ever feel like you're doing everything right, yet your portfolio is still not going anywhere? You invest in the right time, you buy the right cryptocurrencies, you bought the dips, followed the news, maybe even you held coins for years, but it's still sitting there, not going anywhere. And you're a busy investor or entrepreneur, so you cannot invest so much time into day trading or looking for signals. I was at the exact same position a few years ago, until I set up this trading bot that profits from the volatility of the market 24/7, and just this month has done over 10k in profits or 14% without me taking a single trade. Let me show you how you can set it up.
Alright guys, so I'm here looking at my screen right now, and first let me share the results I have had over the last 30 days. So as you can see here, the bots have earned $10,520 in the last 30 days, making up for a 14.11% return on investment. This is total P&L, is not bot profit or any of that crap. Meaning if I was to completely shut down the system, this is how much I would be taking home. Now that that is out of the way, let me explain how the system works, how a grid trading bot actually makes money. Well, it's actually easier than it seems to be. So when using a grid trading bot, we have three main components. We have the grid range, we have the grid levels, I'll just make this white, and we have the step percentage. I'll explain each one in a minute. So the grid range, just to keep it simple, think about it this way. For example, Bitcoin. Right now, in the last couple of weeks, it has been ranging between 100 to 110k. So this is a range. It's from a number, we usually call it low price, from a low price, which is most of the time the support, to a resistance, the high price. This is the price action in percentage the bot is going to be trading within. For example, if Bitcoin was ranging between 40k and 60k, then the grid range could cover those numbers. The first question you have to ask yourself is, what is the grid range my bot needs to cover? Because this is the number one key for your bot to successfully place buy and sell orders within the grid range, and it doesn't go out of range and it becomes a completely nightmare. Then you lose money and the bot is not taking any buy and sell orders. It's horrible. I've been there, not recommended. So grid range, price action in percentage, where the bot is going to be placing buy and sell orders, the most important part, and it's usually a combination of the low price, which is low price, which is support, and resistance, which is the high price. Then we have grid levels. Every single bot will have a grid level. Now, grid levels are divided between buy and sell orders. Every red line is a sell order and every green line is a buy order, meaning that every time the cryptocurrency you're trading goes down in value, the bot is consistently going to place buy orders, and when it goes up, is going to trigger sell order. Very simple system, buy low, sell high. You probably have heard it thousands of times, but the way that you can implement it is completely game changer, because it's going to allow you to profit from the volatility of the market. So make sure you watch this video until the end. And finally, grid step percentage. This is every time the bot is going to place a buy order and then a sell order, it is that distance between the buy and the sell, the grid step percentage. We usually recommend and advise to our members between 0.7 up to 1%. So for example, say I set up a bot, the price goes down, it places a buy order, then it goes up. If my grid step percentage is 1%, this is how much profit I could be making in every transaction. And just for reference, guys, this bot that I have running right now has done 800 transactions in the last 28 days and 19 hours. It has a grid step percentage of 1.20%, meaning that every time the bot places a buy and a sell order, I make about $25. This is also something you want to keep in mind, making sure that your grid step percentage, your profit per trade, allows you to make a consistent cash. And the way that you do that is by ensuring that the profit is higher than the fee of your exchange you are trading with. In this case, I'm using Coinbase. So Coinbase is kind of brutal in the fees. but I still ensure that our members and myself, when we set up the bot, is actually done in the right way. Cool, so now that we have covered the fundamentals, grid range, grid step percentage, and grid levels, let me show you how you can find coins that are earning you between 0.5 up to 1% plus daily. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to come to the trading view, and we're going to be using these filters right here. We want to have the column set up with volatility, volatility month, and volatility week. And on the filters, we want to have the exchange we're going to be using, USDT, or if you're using Coinbase or Kraken, use USDC or USD. And then the RSI. Once you have these levels, then we're going to start filtering from the highest volatility to the lowest volatility. And we're just going to go one by one. We can do this on the daily time frame. What are we looking for? We are looking for coins that have been moving sideways with the strong volatility, so the bot can successfully place buy and sell orders, buying low and selling high, just like this bot right here. You can see the coin has not gone anywhere in the last 30 days. As a matter of fact, it actually has gone down in value. As you can see here, from the entry price to the current price of the coin, we're actually down about 9%, meaning if I was holding this cryptocurrency, in theory, I should be down 9%. But because of how the system works and how you're going to be implementing it, you will also be in profit. Anyway, so we're looking for something that has been moving sideways. The longer the better, ideally more than 6 months, and using these filters will allow us to find those coins. So here I'm just gonna skim through some of these coins and I'm gonna find something that has been moving sideways. So far nothing seems to be interesting. Okay, there we go. So I think we just found one. So this coin, for example, has been moving sideways for about 117 days, which is good enough. Once we have found the coin, then we need to do a bit of fundamentals. We just want to ensure that the coin, has a good market cap, has been on the market for quite a few years at least, and that it's not a meme coin. We do not trade meme coins because they are honestly very worthless. So this coin, for example, 0x0, we're not looking for the ranking. Ranking is one of the worst things you can look out for. I cannot tell you how many times there has been coins in the top 20 even, and from one day into the next one they drop massively in values. The coin ranking is something you should never look into it, but instead the trading time, that is a lot better of a metric. It proves that it has consistency and it allows you to capitalize from the ups and downs on the market, just like this one. We can see it has been moving sideways pretty much since 2023. Market cap is not the best, but usually when you want something with a lot of volatility, ups and downs, then we are searching for coins between 50 million up to 500 million in market cap. You could still trade some coins with above 500 million in market cap. To be honest, they are just not going to perform too great. So now that we find the coin, we do backtesting. And contrary to what you have seen out there, where you backtest the whole cryptocurrency, we actually backtest in cycles. Let me explain what that means. Inside CPA, we help our members set up crypto trading bots that make anywhere between 8 up to 30% per cycle, meaning from entry confirmation all the way down to exit confirmation. We generate anywhere between 8 up to 30% plus in P&L, so return on investment, every time we do a full cycle. And this is one cycle from entry to exit. And the indicators we have built inside CBA will allow you to give you that exit confirmation on when is the best time to shut down a bot. That being said, we usually do the cycles in the 6-hour time frame, with the entry confirmation being between the 45 and the 55 level in the smart RSI. This is a custom indicator we have built inside CBA. So if you want to have free access, just comment down below your trading username and I will grant you access for 14 days. All right, let's get back to the video. So what I'm going to do is, using the CBA Gridmatic tester, I'm going to define the high and low price. Remember that? That is the grid range, right? Support and resistance. That's all we're doing here, really. We're defining that support and resistance, and we are backtesting through cycles. So let me show you how that looks like. So we can set up an entry confirmation between the 45 and the 55 level. So the entry could be somewhere around here. We can see a 45 and the exit could be somewhere around here. This being our high price and this being our low price. Then the backtester is going to take care of all of the buy and sell orders, and it will give us a table on the backtesting report. So then we have to go to a smaller time frame like this one. And in this case, we can see it has done about 6.46% in 11 days. If I open up my strategy tester, I can indeed see the backtesting report in more detail. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to figure out the best settings of the bot. So using the number of grid levels where the bot is going to place buy and sell orders, we're just gonna be backtesting some grid levels, and we're going to be using the grid levels that allow us to make the highest percentage. So it's gonna look something like this. We're going to do 20, 30, 40, 50, and 60, and we're going to use the grid levels that is getting us the highest percentage. So with 20, we're getting about 7%. With 30, we're getting 7.64, slightly better. Let's try 40. 5%, all right, that's worse. 50, that's worse. 60. 8.33%, interesting. And notice how the backtester is also getting us the grid step percentage. Every time the bot makes a buy and a sell order, we're still getting a solid grid step percentage, meaning a solid profit per trade of 1%. So in this case, I'm gonna keep it with 60 grid levels because it's getting me the highest PNL, but it also has a solid grid step percentage. So now that we have the settings, all we have to do is set up the bot. So we're gonna come back to Bitscap, click on the starting bot, grid bot. We're gonna search the coin, so it's going to be 0x0, and then we will go ahead and set up the bot with the settings we got from the backtester. In this case, we're going to be using about a 30% grid range because we want to cover enough price action so the bot can minimize as much possible the risk, and then grid level 60. Actually, we might want to cover a little bit more of market price. There we go, all the way down until we hit about the 1% we got from the backtester. We can do backtesting here as reference, and indeed we can see in the last 30 days about a 23% with pure sideways movement. How beautiful is that? We're gonna click on continue, start the bot, and as that is loading, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come back here to the 6-hour time frame, click on the 3 dots here, add alert, and shut down signal aggressive alert. What this is going to do is that it's going to send me an alert on when I should shut down the bot, secure the profits, and then restart the bot. This is the exact same process that allows me to consistently make cash flow and grow my account anywhere between 8 up to 30% plus a month without taking too much risk because I secure profits. And that is something that almost nobody talks about. Everybody tells you when to buy crypto, but nobody tells you when to sell it or how to sell it. And this exit confirmation will be a game changer, especially if you're running bots like this. Will allow you to set up a bot with an exit confirmation that every time it gets triggered, you secure anywhere between 8 up to 30% plus return on investment. That is net profit. And inside CVA, we give you access to the best and top performing coins we have done multiple cycles. Some of those cycles generating our members more than 40% in 13 days. I know this might seem hard to believe, but it is possible when you set up coins with so much volatility with the right settings so you minimize the risk as much as possible. That being said, guys, if you want to have access to CVA, my one-on-one help, access to these indicators for life, then there is going to be a link down in the description. Just click on it and apply to CVA, book a call, and I will see you guys there. That being said, thank you so much for watching. God bless you and see you on the next video. Peace.